Welcome to this week's edition of Penn State Presser. I'm Neil Rudel, joined by our Mirror intern Tim Schoen, fresh from Bill O'Brien's weekly press conference. Not a lot of news, I didn't think today. I think it was, just sort of a routine press conference. Maybe the least amount of news so far this season.
Yeah, not too much to come out of it. Obviously, Bill O'Brien's expecting a great football game out of an energized Temple team this weekend. He talked about that. He talked about what a big game it is going to be for Temple, but he also said that his team's only going to get 12 games this year on the schedule, so they're going to have to get up for it just like they would any other game and match Temple's intensity.
Some of the news of the day that there was centered around injuries, and he kind of joked that the media's going to get tired hearing that most of these guys are day-to-day, but that's what he considers them. But reading between the lines, it seems that Belton is more doubtful than Day. That Day's probably a little bit of ahead of Belton at this point. It sounded like Donovan Smith was very iffy, and Wertman, the young linebacker who blocked the punt against Ohio U, is going to be out for several games.
Yeah, O'Brien said that Wortman's going to miss some good time, so possibly that may be a medical red shirt for Wortman. He only appeared in 2 games, so we'll have to see about that as the season progresses.
Yeah, Temple, this is kind of like their Super Bowl. It's always a bigger game to Temple than it is to Penn State. But I think, as you alluded to earlier, Tim, the fact that Penn State doesn't have a bowl game, but I do wonder, I think this is going to be the first test of, maturity is probably not the right word, but this is a potential trap situation. Penn State comes off their first win, a lot of emotion to get the first win. Next week they begin the Big Ten schedule on the road at Illinois, a team where it's going to be some hard feelings toward Illinois of all the Big Ten teams that tried to recruit the Penn State players. So I think this is a game that they really need to maintain that focus.
Right, absolutely. And Temple's coming off a bye week, so they had a week off to prepare and look at Penn State. They probably were all, able to watch Penn State live on Saturday. So they're going to be coming into Beaver Stadium ready. It's really a budding rivalry in the state with Temple and Penn State. The students are into it, and it's going to be quite a scene here on Saturday.
Yeah, they have the blue out, the symbol of fighting child abuse. Bill talked about that, how important that has been to him since he took the job. I think that's another chance for this community to take another step toward healing.
Right, it'll be another neat looking thing to show that, Penn Staters, they do care, and we are trying to move on, although, remembering the past, but trying to move on.
A couple other things relative to the kicking. Ficken is still the place kicker. There is another place kicker. The backup's in the mix. What's his name? You got the...
Deshane.
Yeah.
I can't recall right now, but
Deshane, anyway, there's a backup.
There's another one. Yeah.
Who has not supplanted Ficken at this point. I know the backup punter left last week, but Ficken is still the place kicker. He defended, going for the 4th and 8. Again, he didn't seem to want to back off because you're curious how you build confidence in a kicker when you pass on the 25-yard field goal when you're up 20-0. But maybe that sent a message, and he said that Ficken has been kicking well in practice.
Right, and you were asking him, even if Ficken made the extra point before they went for it, if he'd still go for it. O'Brien likes to go for it on 4th down. That's basically what he said today. He's going to, roll all his cards out there, and he's going to go for it on 4th down a lot.
Yeah, and that would have really been a chance to put the game away. So get used to seeing some of that. In the meantime, it came up, and Penn State doesn't have a rushing touchdown this year. And Bill O'Brien said that he thinks they need to run the ball a little bit more. He talked about the play calling. He talked about getting the plays in a little quicker also. They've been penalized in all 3 games early for mismanagement of the clock.
Right, and by running the ball more, it keeps your offensive linemen in the game more. It makes them feel more important. So that's just something he said he has to do a better job of this week.
O'Brien has a history with Steve Adazio. When Adazio was up at Syracuse, O'Brien got to know him. Adazio's a little bit older. He was also the offensive coordinator on the Florida staff under Urban Meyer. So they have a lot of respect for Temple. Temple's played Penn State very tough these last 3 years.
Right. Temple's coming to win a football game on Saturday, and O'Brien knows that, and his team's going to be in for quite a test.
Okay, Tim, you want to make a prediction for us?
I like the Nittany Lions about 21-10. I think the offense is going to get the job done, and Penn State's going to have an impressive showing on Saturday.
Okay, I picked a 24-10. Generally, they've been lower scoring, really for about the last year and a half. The over-under. The over-under is 45. Penn State's been under that pretty consistently. So I'm going to say 24-10. Again, I'm reluctant to predict a blowout just because they have a Big Ten game next week. So I don't know if this is a spot for Penn State to maybe got caught off guard. We'll see about that. For Tim Schoen, I'm Rudel saying thank you for watching the Penn State Presser, and we'll see you next week.